Okay, recap for Wednesday, 25th of February, 2026. So, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. There's not really much in this day. Right, so, pre-session, right? Let's just look pre 9:30, right? Just before this one. In yesterday's video, I was like, there's one thing, and that's gonna stop us from going higher, and that is the volume imbalance on the daily. So, if we can get above that and close above it, I'm talking literally 5-15 minutes, whatever, close above, and mainly I'm looking at the midpoint this week, right? Trading through that, let's say like maybe 5 minute closure or something. Then my eyes are automatically looking at them highs, right? I said both these highs, right? Because they're relatively good highs, just cleaning this area up, right? And then after that, I'll reevaluate. Are we still looking to go higher, or are we going to go lower? I don't know. Exactly what I said yesterday. If not, and if we can't get above this on a closing basis, then I'm still looking at previous data low, right? So what invalidates the whole idea, right? Just coming in. Look at the new weekly opening gap. New weekly opening gap high is right there. So that technically means when we hit it and start going down, if we're gonna get to previous data low, we should not be taking previous data high. Market opens and then it shoots straight to previous data high, right? So that already kills the idea for shorts to the lows, right? That's one. So when we're coming at near my market open 9:30, I can see that we stacked so much liquidity. So in my head, there's potential to come down and clean something up. But at the same time, I'm looking at ES and I'm like, oh, the ES open and had that manipulation, whatever it was, and it did clear out its own liquidity. And in terms of ES, it does look cleaner, right? So this one either equal or lower. This one goes all the way to the gap, right? These are all the lows. And in terms of a run for ES, it looks like it makes sense. However, on Q, it didn't, right? And that's why I had the idea of it to come lower. Again, conflicting with the idea that now we should be looking at the highs. So now all these factors in play, I'm adding liquidity in terms of it. Okay, what have we done? Are we gonna get a manipulation down and then go higher? Right. So I'm looking at the 4 hour, and this was around here at the time, right? So no information, right? So let's put a lipstick now on the chart. I know there's a lot. As you can see, for targeting for higher prices, I have three things marked: that buy side liquidity, the other buy side liquidity, and the rejection block, right? On the 4 hour. I'm talking for the first one. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm also looking at this gap and how I don't want it to act like a gap, right? I just want it to just zoom through, right? I mean, not give any sensitivity for price to go down, right? In terms of this is our daily fair value gap, right? And this is the volume balance, and this is the midpoint of that daily wick that I'm talking about. So if we go down and we can see that we are already invalidating right here at 9:10, right? We're already invalidating the idea of shorts. As you can see, these lows are not random lows. We are going all the way and respecting the bottom of our daily inverse fair value gap now. Then, like I said, going and closing above. And on the 1 minute, I could see that as a mohawk, right? And I'd be like, fine. But then when I started, like, for the first time, but then at the 5 minute, I'm like, we are pushing it, right? Like we're really pushing the boundaries here. So, but then on the 15 minute, once 9:30 opened, I was like, yeah, that's it. I can't give it that much, especially the fact that we at 15 in that 15 minutes, right? Once we leave it, we come down to midpoint of it and then go. So taking the liquidity again, it's obvious, it's there, it's bait. It should take it, but doesn't want to. It's respecting this and is in a hurry basically, right? So 9:30 launches up, and If we just count liquidity wise, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 down against 1. And it's rare that this doesn't get cleaned up. However, there is some special occasions where it does not care about our current liquidity. It's got something to go for. And if it's got something to go for, it has to get it that day, right? And that's why I had this as a minimum of a target, genuinely, that I'd need to see for me to be like, okay, analysis is correct, right? So I had that, and then of course the high next to it. That means when they launch the market right there at 9:30, I'm looking at it like, okay, we did not even bother visiting, let's say, even the upper quadrant of the opening range gap. We have that much liquidity on the sell side. Everything is saying we should go down, right? But we're breaking structure to the upside, which means they want something, and that's all them highs, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. So my brain is like, okay, there's no reason to look for any shorts because, like I said, if we go above this, no shorts. Even though the liquidity is everything, I should be just looking for longs until we get to like here and maybe a retracement for this rejection block. So in my mind, I'm waiting for like 940. 940 is here, alright, and this to me, and we'll go above. And I'm like, okay, if we wanted to go lower or even like visit this gap, we would have done it here, right? But nope, respecting it, I'm going higher. And I drew this order block, right? Thinking to my head, like, okay, it's not a bad entry, but enter here, stop loss at their low, right? That's my thought process. It's not a bad entry. I don't enter normally like this because think about it. The market is already in a stupid premium from 9:30. We've already gone 85 points. I can't tell you for sure that it's not gonna come visit this gap again currently, but I know it's more likely it's not because of this little institution order flow entry. So that's like I guess in my head trade, right? I'm like, okay, I'd want to enter here, get out of the rejection block, right? That's just the thingy. They didn't take it, but it's fine, right? Because it like the probability of it was like just low, right? It was just low. And again, this is new teaching. If no bias is already gone, right? What I'm looking for, I'm gonna be focusing on the upper half, right? Between 9:30 and 10:30, right? So the first hour of trading. And then I'm gonna focus on right by 10:30, focusing on the upper half. Is there a gap? Is there something obvious? And to me, before even that happened, I had this gap drawn in mind. It was an obvious gap that the price is gonna reject and come back to, right? And I put a limit order here, right? Stop loss here and left it, right? And then I moved it and left the house, came back, and it was already on break even. So just absolutely nothing, right? Garbage price action. Because look, when it went and left, came back, then it comes visit. Why is the stop loss all the way at that long? I'm trying to make sure I'm completely wrong. If right, it's just like a small MNQ entry, is leaving it for right because then this is a breakaway gap, right? That's what I'm expecting, and this would be the low of two fair value gaps on the 5 minute, right? Just looking at price. So I would want price to stop here, but I wouldn't mind it if it goes down there. Okay. I don't like it, but I wouldn't mind it, right? Because it looks so bullish at the current time, right? At the moment. And then after that, the classic garbage days on this February where it just moves like this, right? It's genuinely pissing me off. This price action is so garbage when it starts moving like this, right? Like either pick a direction, bro, and just go or like whatever, right? So you can sometimes get this, right? So this was like took that one, few minutes, 100 points, cool. But let's say you entered this entry and with the wider stop loss because With the high resistance liquidity runs, you don't know what to expect. And guess what? By the time it even got to here, this is 425, right? Probably on like my funded accounts, it wouldn't go that far. It'd be like 415, and that's it. It'll close me out. Wait, I'm guessing the stallment or whatever, because this type of action is like definitely like earnings or something. I'm not even bothered to check it, but that's the only reason we went this slow, right? And you expected us to go faster, but I guess earnings to get it up there. So yeah, one thing I was looking at once we went all the way to the low is this opening price, and we can see we tapped the opening price after all this PS. Then after that, that's the low, and that's what we make it, and we start going up and higher and higher and higher. Actually, alright, so I can't seem to get in on the move initially, right? Like some days, and I think I'm just gonna accept of just like doing some practice ones where I know where it's gonna go. I don't know where it's gonna stop exactly to the tick because it's high resistance liquidity run. But I can generally get in. Like let's say I got in here, right? Realistic drawdown was 22 points, right? I'm talking low MNQ, so that doesn't really matter. Potential upside is 132 points. Plus, I don't know, 6 hours, 5 hours. So that's the only problem, right? The weighing. So if I'm just gonna do practice set and forgets, right? And on the days that I missed, like let's say this was missed clearly, right? I would do like a set and forget that I know that we're looking to go higher. Then I'll just buy somewhere where it's logical for a limit, and just leave because I don't want to watch or be bothered to look at this. It either gets my stop loss that I genuinely don't even care about and doesn't affect the account, or it gets a take profit that it's same thing I just don't care about. It doesn't really affect the account that much, but at least it's something. So yeah, yeah, that's the market recap. Is actually let's not stop it here. Let's talk about tomorrow. Right, so this is the problem. It is genuine problem right now. We have closed above the suspension block, haven't we? Right, so right now I want to get rid of everything, literally. We're going to do a whole reanalysis of everything, right? So what was holding us last time with the eyes? It was the suspension block, right? Yes, we closed above, but we've closed above. But there's just a slight problem with it. Is that close above was due to the what do you call it? Earnings. So unless you still have this, right? Unless we completely just shift. And see, this is what I'm saying. I'm already like in. Oh, I don't. Nice. That's the problem. So I'm just gonna, if I'm gonna trade tomorrow, it's gonna be like real close to internal liquidity type of trade, whatever, to something. I mean, what makes sense for us is to come back and visit the big gap that we left, right? Regardless, right? Because then that would be the midpoint of the suspension block if we're gonna use it to go higher again, right? So that's just my general bias for now. I don't really have a bias yet, even though we went and got to the target, right? So I'd expect that as the weekly target, right? Because we have gone and got, where's the week? We've gone and got previous week high and the week before it, right? We have, see, the only thing that I can see that would make sense for price to go up this much and still come back down, because I still think it still should be bearish, right? Because I don't believe us to be that bearish. If we go higher, listen to this. If we go higher and actually go up all the way up, I'm expecting this year to be bearish, and that's not what I expect. So that's why I'm pushing more for the bearish narrative. And you can see we keep making it nice and sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down. I don't know when, but it's gonna come down. I don't expect it to go to the highs. And you know what? It could go make another high and then still come lower. But I'm telling you, lower is what I'm looking at. Right? So that's what I'm guessing I'm biased with. So as you can see, if eventually we hit this volume imbalance on the weekly and this shift and start delivering lower, and this whole thing was just like an accumulation, right? And then a manipulation higher and then distribution lower type of thing, maybe, right? But I'm only giving tomorrow and tomorrow only the benefit of the doubt of closing above this suspension block, right? Because I did mention that that day should have hit this order block, which lines up with this weekly volume imbalance. So I'm only giving tomorrow and only tomorrow the benefit of the doubt to close above this suspension block ever again. Just like this day, right? Which closed above this gap slightly. Now this is not the slightest close, but I guess it's earnings. So yeah, that's the recap. As you can tell, difficult. It's difficult. It's not easy. I can't be like, yeah, we're bearish. We're just bullish, right? Even when I know we're bullish, I don't even get the chance to enter cleanly because 9:30 doesn't want to wait for anybody and just shoots up without any real news. I don't know, 50 handles or like almost 60 handles, right? And then not visit it, not rebalance, nothing, right? It's difficult. Why? Because on top of that, no sell side have been taken the whole day. This is not normally how the market goes up. So that's why I'm saying this to me still just looks like manipulation because in what world would they want to move the market up, leaving all this intact? And look at all this sweet run. It looks fake. It just looks fake, bro. Anyway, that's the market recap. Peace out, man.